There. I guess so. Where the hell's my damn phone? Hey, everybody, this is John. Hang on a second. Woo, here we go.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, a Washington football podcast by fans for fans. With your hosts, Jessy Martin.
You want to play what? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
John Taylor.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
And Keith Gray.
The King, your Majesty.
And now here's your host, John Taylor.
Hey, here I am once again, everybody. John Taylor with the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, and my good friend Scott Hartley from Barrow and Furnace.
Correct, John. Yeah, well done.
Where you're. Sorry. Okay, I found it. Thank you. Of course, everything happens right at once, and losing my phone happened 10 seconds ago, so I had to go find my phone. Yeah, man. So yesterday when I was doing up the bit for the for our traveling Scott bit there, which I hope if anybody is paying attention to the show today, I hope y'all were able to catch that yesterday on screen. Scott getting ready to fly out in our brand new Bleeding Burgundy podcast aircraft. I thought that thing worked well, man. I don't know if you rewatched it or not, but I watched it again.
Yeah,
just to see how it worked. Oh, well, there's Jesse. Hey, all right. He'll be on in a second. But yeah, I thought that it worked well. Jesse and I were talking this morning about it. He's right. We need to get some sound effects. And I had some there. My God, look at that. That's like the last thing you want to see. You wait. That's what you see when somebody pulls the black hood off your head. Right?
Hey, how's the audio? I just had to pick my daughter up from. Say hi, daughter.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello, nice to meet you.
So how's the audio?
It's
Sounds
all right.
good. Yeah, you sound pretty good. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna put my audio for a second here because I'm gonna sneeze.
It's gonna be like that. Actually, I'll try to put it there. Okay.
And if you're watching live, this is Jesse's driving skills. Men can multitask. It's a fact.
Yeah, we're pretty good at multitasking.
Keep telling yourself that, Jesse. Hi, North.
I forgot I had the North Turner picture up on here. I guess we're going to have to talk about some football games. He wrecked him. He wrecked. He fucking wrecked.
He set up all over the place. Yeah.
I had to speed across a busy intersection because we're out here in the sticks. And I'm getting myself turned around. So yeah, okay, there we go. Good.
I like this camera angle that you're giving us.
What is it, upside down?
I don't know, but you got to mute something. I can hear every single piece of traffic that's going by.
I got the windows are up.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just that. Have you got? Well, I better be quiet. Your daughter's in the car.
Oh no, you don't have to be quiet.
Oh really? Okay. Well, so do you have like some kind of vibrating beats in your ass or anything like that might be causing a bunch of disturbance there?
No, but let me take my Bluetooth off so she can hear all the dirty nonsense we're talking.
Now, everybody, now let's see if the groundhog sees his shadow to see if we have a mild winter or not coming up. All right. This is insane. All right, yeah, that's there you go. Whatever you just did, that's fine. Okay, so we're here to talk about some football games to the one person that's watching us. Hey, how you doing? There you go. That sounds great. Whatever you're doing right there.
Earbuds, it's not coming through. Hold on, I'm gonna have to go out and come back in.
Okay, go out and come back
Jesse.
in. That's great.
You can't say fairer than that. It's dedication, isn't it, John? You know what I mean? That's dedication.
I guess that's what it is. I got to wonder how many times when he goes and picks up his daughter, people go, somebody call the police. I just pick on him because he looks funny. Anyway, so how did we do last week? You've got your brand new Commanders Embossed notebook there that you're going to keep all of our statistics in.
I have. I'm not sure how we did last week. I know that you did quite poorly. I did averagely, and I think Jessy was the same, to be honest.
See, I have a Hulk embossed notebook.
Oh, nice.
So this is where my priorities are. Yeah, I didn't do so well last week. I think I lost 6 games. I won 4, and I pushed on 2 of them. One of them was one of the ones that I was pretty confident about, which was the Falcons. But it was a 3-point spread, and it was a 3-point game, so push.
But I think you were the only one who was on with the Falcons, as far as I remember.
I was. A couple other ones I did all right with. I did pretty good with Seattle. The Chiefs let me down. I thought that they would crush, but they really didn't do very well for me whatsoever. The Jaguars did pretty good for me, and I think I was the only one on the Jaguars too. Was I not?
Yep, you were.
Well, I tell you what. Rather than continue to talk about mediocre performances, I know you do well. How did you do?
I'm not too sure, actually, to be honest with you. I've kind of lost the slip from last week, but I may have
are
it
always
in front
so
of me.
great.
Jacksonville, Dallas. Yeah.
Is that better?
That's better.
Loads better, that, Jessy.
That's better. You got a booger under your fingernail, though.
Do it? Oh, okay.
There you go.
Okay, whatever.
Wrong hand.
Yeah, so my daughter just cussed you all out for making me steal her headphones. Just
Really?
Right now.
Sorry, Missy.
That's dedication for you, though, Jessy.
That's right. To brave the wrath of a teenage girl. To be able to be here to pick football games with 2 clowns like us. All right. So do you have how Jessy did last week? How'd you do, Jessy?
Oh, I not too bad.
Yeah.
I got you having 6 wins last week, I think.
Yeah, well, on my account, I did pretty good. I don't do a whole lot of like picking against the spread when I'm actually betting.
Mm-hmm.
It's more do a lot of prop bets and picking a few games here and there. But
well, I hit with the Patriots last week. I hit with the Jaguars, the Seahawks, and the Ravens. I pushed on the Bucks. I pushed on the Falcons, and everything else I lost. But so. I mean, it didn't wash out too bad for me. I don't like to get into actual numbers, but I'm able to afford groceries this week, so we're all good there. All right, so let's jump right into this week. So let's see here. This is week 9, is it not, or week 10?
10. Week
10. Holy smokes! All right, week 10, which usually signals about the end of the football season, but with 17 games, it certainly doesn't feel it's just about the midway point. It almost feels like. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're starting off first thing in the morning in Munich, in Germany.
We are.
Yes, we are, with the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are the supposed home team there. They're favored by 1 point over the Seahawks. Who are you taking in this game, Jessy?
Yeah, I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks in this game. I got no faith in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think I don't think it's Brady what's wrong with that team. I think it's everything else. They just do not have it anymore. And Seattle is I think they lost last week, correct?
Seattle
won last week.
Yeah, they beat the Cardinals.
Okay, all right. Well, they're going to continue on winning, and I think I'd probably put about $100 on this game.
Hot damn! Now that I'll tell you what, right there, Scott, that is some first class analysis right there.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. The problem with the Buccaneers has been their defense, and that's kind of surprising to me. They've been pushed around quite a bit, and hopefully, what that'll mean is that this offseason they'll be ready to do a whole lot of moves, get rid of a bunch of guys, and we can pick Devin White up on the cheap. I know. I'm dreaming.
Their offense it's not only their defense, but their offensive playmakers have just they've been dropping balls left and right, and it's not helping Brady out whatsoever too.
They're not scoring points at all.
Yeah.
They're like
Mike Evans had a good game last week though, and he back from a rib injury, but I thought he was pretty dinged up as well, from what I remember.
Godwin's been hurt all season long. Brady hasn't really found that next level guy. Brady, it doesn't make any difference. That's been the story as far as I'm concerned of his career, is that you can put pretty much anybody around him at any size, style, whatever. Yep. He's succeeded with everything. He's succeeded with Hall of Famers like Randy Moss, bombing it down the field. He threw 50 touchdown passes that year. He has succeeded with small little receivers like Deion Grant, little 5-yard passes, 6-yard passes. No matter what you give him, he's been able to adapt to it and succeed, even when he's had injuries. We saw last year they had some injuries, and the year before that, and this I can't remember the name of the kid come up, but he picks up this rookie, and boop, 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 the guy starts making plays. So I think that Brady is being troubled by some off-field issues. I think that's kind of obvious, but I don't think he's the problem. His statistics have been pretty good. They just can't punch it into the end zone. They just can't get points. You see a lot of weird scores out of the Bucs of like 12-9. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Score a touchdown, why don't you? So, when I'm barely looking at the screen, it kind of looks like Jesse's wearing a sombrero. That's kind of cool. So, yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks in this game too, and I'm taking them big. They're going to win by a touchdown. They're going to go ahead and bitch slap the Buccaneers and wake them up. The other thing that could happen is that Brady goes over to Germany and says, okay, this is a whole new continent for me to fucking splooge all over. And he goes and has a game of his life. But no, I'm taking the Seahawks, especially that one. I'm putting $200 on it because it's only a 1-point spread. Give me that.
So I am taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Only you've pretty much took my point there, John. I think that Brady comes out. It's a game abroad. There is no real difference here between Seattle and Tampa Bay. 1 point.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think not having a home team neutralizes it completely. It's less to travel for Tampa Bay.
Let me ask you this. You're European, duh. But okay, so over there, if it's supposedly a neutral crowd, which whenever I watch a game in England, it usually is. There's people there with all kinds of jerseys, and I love that, actually. I find that to be wonderful because over here it's so damn tribal. Over there, people go for the love of the game. They don't care if the Rams are playing. They're a Rams fan. They're going to go to the game. So it is Tom Brady, though. All right. So do you think over in Munich, he's going to have a bigger crowd cheering for him?
Yeah, 100% I do. Yeah, I think he's going to have a bigger crowd over there. The Germans especially are enormous into their American football and into the NFL. They have been. They were one of the. They were one of the
fact that Brady's a Nazi. So
wow.
Get out of here. All right, I guess
other dictators are available, but yeah,
but Tom Brady's the biggest name in the NFL, so you would figure, the Europeans they don't have home teams. They might gravitate towards the bigger names, and surely Tom Brady is the biggest.
I'm going to have to capture some of this. I seem to always bring this up all the time. I always bring up my old show, of which I'm not going to mention. But if you went back and ever heard it, some of those folks that might be listening to us now that used to listen to us then, one of the fun things we did was find the calls from other countries, right? And the Germans were great because, man, we had one of this big hit across the middle. Dude got clobbered. It was a Patriots game. And the German announcers said, my God, you really get the feel of a hit with that one. They were a lot of fun.
It's an angry language, I'll give you that. But
yeah, it was fun.
Hast du dein Toilettenpapier bitte? Ich habe einen großen Scheiße in meinen Lederhosen. But yeah, so
I caught the end of that one.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Anyway, Tampa Bay for me. I think that Brady lights this game up. I don't know why. I just got a feeling
that's why
it's going to be one of them.
He's got a new group of people. Yeah,
one of them games. And that the stadium they're playing in, Bayern Munich's home ground for soccer, is an unbelievable stadium as well. It's fantastic the way they do the lights on the outside of it. So don't be surprised to see the stadium looking the way it is. I think it's the German national stadium as well. It's a fantastic ground to play at. And obviously coming from NFL Europe back in the day, they had the Rhine Fire. And I think they had a team in Frankfurt as well.
They did. The Dragons, wasn't it? No, that was Barcelona. But yeah,
it's in their blood. They love it as much as we do over here in the UK. So,
all right. So you are 5 hours away from us. So this game starts for us at 9:30 in the morning on the East Coast. So that for you, that's 2:30 in the afternoon. For Munich, what time is it there?
That'll be 1:30 my time. So we're an hour. They're an hour in front of us.
Okay. All right. So it's a normal start for them. So that's all right. That's pretty cool. Now, what's interesting is how far the Seahawks have to travel to go to this.
Yeah, that's why I'm picking Tampa Bay. It's miles to go from the West Coast all the way across. That's a long trip.
I wonder how far it is if they just went across the pole. They went up over the pole. So it's probably a little bit less, but probably not much. But at the same time, I think that's probably one of the reasons that precludes having a team in Central Europe like that. Even though they're not really Central Europe, they're farther, east than you. Is it's one thing for when you say, okay, the Giants flying over there, the Jets are flying over there, the Falcons or whatever, but the Seahawks, the Chargers, these teams have to go 3,000 miles before they hit the ocean, to get over there.
It's a long, long way that.
Yeah. So I would suspect that puts the Seahawks on the bye next week. But anyway, that'll be interesting. It'll be fun to watch in the morning. That's a pretty good game. They usually I hate to say it this way, but the European games are typically like the Thursday night games that we have here, not the best.
They're dry. They're a bit dreary, aren't they, to be honest?
Right. Now, sometimes I'm still going on this game because I'm kind of fascinated with the whole European aspect of it. A soccer pitch is softer than a football field. I've seen punts stick in the ground like you wouldn't believe. So when you talk about this field being so good, how's it going to look after an NFL football game?
I'm not so sure because obviously we're used to having Tottenham Hotspur, which shout out Andy Burrows. That's his team. They won today 4-3 against Leeds. But anyway, they have their own individual NFL stadium that they bring out. They do bring out their own turf, which is underneath the usual soccer pitch as we would have. This one in Wembley Stadium, I don't know. Wembley Stadium's got, again, fantastic turf. And I think it's got artificial turf in there as well. I think it's like one blade every 4. But I'm not sure what goes on in Munich Stadium, to be honest with you.
Can you imagine having to be the groundskeeper that has to go out?
Unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, counting the grains. Yeah.
We got a ratio field. It's a pain in the fucking ass dealing with that shit. Yeah.
Now since this is really kind of just a general NFL show, I've been seeing in the last couple of weeks that a lot of players are starting to bitch about these field turf fields.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
They said we're better. They used to say these were better for you. And now they're saying the same thing that I used to hear about the old, AstroTurf fields. It's just concrete underneath it.
Yeah, they're coming out. There's a big swell today about that all these football players are coming out. It's the NFLPA thing. They're starting to do this thing because of the World Cup that's coming here in 2026. That all the fields that are they're playing at are. They're converting the artificial fields into grass fields, and then all the players are getting pissed off that they think that every field should be grass, 100% grass.
I've always felt that way anyway, and the argument against it is the upkeep, the cost of the upkeep. I'll tell you what, here every day over at the park where I play pickleball all the time because I'm old and I don't play football anymore. But when I take my dogs for a walk over there every day too, and the football field is fucking gorgeous, and it's natural grass. It's beautiful, and it's like, damn, y'all do this for 8-year-olds? We used to have dirt and a couple of rocks, and by the way, that root over there is out of bounds. If the tree hits the ball, that's interference. We got to start the play over again. So it's amazing to me what they're able to do, and I'll tell you what, for you, that's probably pretty good job security there, having natural grass.
Oh, absolutely. It is a round the year job keeping these fields maintained.
Hey, you know what?
Safe for kids to play on.
I'll tell you this: you guys are young. Well, Jesse, you're not so young. We found that out yesterday. You're well into your 40s, from what you said. Happy birthday! Hope you had a good time at Texas Roadhouse. By the way, we're not sponsored by Texas Roadhouse, but if you bastards want to send us some free coupons or something, we'll be all right with that, right, Scott? You got one over there?
There you go.
No, I don't.
No? All right, well,
No.
There you go. Got an opportunity there, Texas Roadhouse. Shit, now I got myself thinking about a steak. I forgot what the hell I was going to say. So let's move on to the next game. All right, so I got the Kansas City Chiefs at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Chiefs are a 10-point favorite. The over-under on this game is 51, which I think they think is going to be almost all Chiefs because, they're probably thinking it's going to be like 41-10. I tell you what, I don't know. The Chiefs let me down last week. I thought that they would crush, and they won by 3 over a team that they should have just smoked. Jesse, what do you think? Or actually, we'll go with Scott since Jesse seems to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Go ahead, Jesse.
No, I'm good. It's any given Sunday, a team can have a bad game.
Yeah.
It happens. Look at the Buffalo Bills last week.
Let's hope the Eagles have one.
You know, I think, I think the Chiefs are going to cruise, and I would probably take the Chiefs and lay the points on this one.
Yep. And you putting any money on this one, Jesse?
Yeah, go ahead and throw me 50 on it.
50. I got you. John, what's your thoughts on this one then?
I'm going to stick with the Jaguars. I'm going to take those 10 points.
Wow.
I think that the Chiefs are going to win. They're at home, but again, they let me down a little bit last week. I think that they're not banged up. They're not terribly beat up and anything like that. There's no really any excuse for the Chiefs to not just crush anybody. The Jaguars won for me last week, even though they lost. But so give me those 10 points. The Chiefs will win, but not by 11.
Chiefs plus points.
Or no, Jags
laying the point. Jags plus points.
That's right.
Got you, man.
Damn British people that don't understand.
I know.
You're keeping track of this.
Not from your way. We all, as I said, we're all in fractions and decimals, so it's
I know.
Totally
and
different.
He's keeping track of this, Jesse. So how do I know I won anything?
So
John, sorry, you've lost by 4.96%. What?
Yeah, it was only 4-11. Sorry about that, John. Yeah. No, I've got the Chiefs here, and I'm laying the points, and I'm putting 200 on this one. I think this is an easy win for Kansas City.
I thought really last week was an easy win for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't think the Jags are all they should be, or what they're still the Jags, and we've been found out like that. Trevor Lawrence isn't playing lights out as they expected him to be. But he's doing okay. He's doing okay of the quarterbacks that were there. But I think we're finding out that the quarterbacks taken in that draft are not as good as we thought they were.
And Travis Etienne, man, he's a player right there too. I think
right.
If the Jaguars, if they run the ball, just keep pounding the ball, shorten the game, then they could keep the score close. But I just think there's this Pat Mahomes, that he's got too much firepower in the Kansas City Chiefs office. Just too much firepower, and the Jags will play a good game and play a terrible game. They play a good game. They've been like that all year round, and I just don't trust them.
So looking at that, as you're saying about the offensive weapons for the Kansas City Chiefs, Nicole Hardman is out with an abdomen injury for the Chiefs. So that's a wide receiver weapon they haven't got for this game. So
Kadarius Toney could step up this game, though. Huh?
He could be.
That's true. This could be a big Kadarius Toney game. Yeah.
Well, we've been saying that now for what, 21 games?
Seasons?
24 games?
And Juju Smith-Schuster, he's been playing well. They've developed a good rapport, him and Pat Mahomes. So, I don't think with Hardman being out, I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. There's a pretty damn good tight end on that side of the ball that will always give you at least 15 fantasy points a game. So,
Scott, between you and me, Jesse can't remember Kelsey's name.
The Chiefs handle this team easily. Kelsey,
yeah. He's class. He is very, very good.
I'm sorry, I'm just fucking with you, Jesse. But yeah, I think you're 100% right. And it's hard.
Y'all are breaking up.
Really?
Okay.
Well, get out of the mountains. Jesus Christ! What are you checking the still?
Yep, I'll be back.
Okay.
All right, there he goes. He's got the revenuers on his tail. See, these are you probably don't even understand those jokes. Look at him, my God. Seriously, don't you feel like you're in a terrorist video?
I'm just waiting for the Arabic background music. Yeah,
he's gonna start yelling at us and telling us for the great sake. All right, that's bad. I shouldn't be doing that.
Shouldn't be doing that. No, come on.
No, I shouldn't be doing that.
We're both generalized there.
That's right. By the way, while we got an opportunity while we're waiting for Jesse to drive here, Ian Lockhart. Hey, Scott, would you be promoting the podcast that you're going on with Scott Lockhart? What you got there? You got a podcast.
Yeah, so we've just started a podcast called the 1 Point Safety Show. We've just started that. We've done one episode so far. It's a little bit of a hit and miss. So if you want to listen to two English dickheads talk about football for about 35 minutes, by all means, go ahead.
Why not?
In all seriousness, it's been quite well received, which is great. We're trying to do things from a UK point of view. It's not an offense to any of the Commanders fans that side of the pond. We're just going to try and get we're just going to try and get the people on and understand their story and what they've done throughout the and what their fandom stemmed from. It was good. Yeah, it was good. You just trying to drop it on a Friday morning or maybe early Saturday because it doesn't affect any other podcasts out there. So when we've got to be loyal to people like yourselves and other podcasts like the Burgundy Zone and Burrows who've let us on and led the way, really. You lot will always be the ones who've led the way. So, yeah, we're just doing it for a bit of fun. It's something to do. It passes an hour of our time, which is, we've got enough to get off our chest to talk about the Commanders. And we want to try and talk about the NFL in general as well. So we're always going to pick one game out there a week that people want to hear. And I think eventually the idea is that we get fans from other teams on as well, from the UK or Europe, and understand their story. Because I've said to you before, I'm really good friends with a guy who's a massive Buffalo Bills fan. I work with a Green Bay Packers fan. There's loads.
I'll tell you. And our buddy Scott G out there, we were talking about this on Twitter. When I make fun of Keith as international television sensation, this guy Scott was talking about how, he wasn't really coming off as what have you ever done? But look, man, the show I used to have, the Bang Radio Hour, the cartoons I used to do, I had huge international audience. It's amazing to me how many people outside of this country are so into this sport that a stupid ass like me can have a bunch of them that'll listen to him. I got friends all over I guarantee you, dude, if I went to the UK tomorrow, I could stay for 2 weeks in a different house every doggone night. I guarantee 100%, you I could.
No worries at all. I mean, there's 20 blokes straight away I can put my hand on who would no doubt about it put you up for as long as you needed, and that's not just in England. That's Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
That's everywhere.
Dude, it was amazing to me that the reach that all that stuff had. But anyway, I don't want to get all. You've seen the fella that comes in here, Tilliard, right? I was telling a story about John Tilliard. Hey, John, if you're listening, hey, how you doing? Man, John and I have known each other probably almost 20 years now, and he was the first listener to my old show. I call him the first listener. He wasn't, but he was close because when I told you I started seeing all these pins on the map. Where are these people coming from? All over the place. And I said, go take some pictures. Let me show you your town. So Tilliard went around and took about 1 million pictures of Harrogate. You know where Harrogate is?
Yeah, I know Harrogate. Yep.
All right. He took about 1 million pictures of Harrogate and him and his cat and sent them to us. So I was like, this guy's the best. And he is. John's the best. So
Harrogate's about 15 miles from where my son was born. So I was in the military base not far from there. So Harrogate's very famous for a place called Betty's Tea Rooms, which if you ever want tea in a scone, as we call it, or a scone, if you're posh,
all right.
Get down there and you'll have a wonderful time.
Gotta tell you,
across.
I'm about as fucking posh as it gets. All right. I don't know where Jessy is.
Come on then, chin chin, El Bean. We'll move on to the next game.
Right. Grab me a scone. All right. So anyway, we're going to go to the Houston Texans, New York Giants. The Giants are favored by 4.5. They're at home. Mm-hmm. This is a strange line to me. Not necessarily that the Giants are favored, but it's frankly, I think BetUS.com, which is where we get our lines, and in a moment I'll do our reading from, but they have lines that are almost dead on what I think they actually should be, which sounds so weird. But do you understand what I'm saying? Usually the lines are a bit skewed one way or the other so that Vegas can kind of get what people bet.
Yeah, they are. And they always trying to seem to bait you into one game every week where you're like,
right. Oh, yeah.
I've got to pick the Raiders. It's telling you you've got to pick it. And then they don't score a single point. Last week it was Miami, I think. And we were
it was the Ravens. And I was glad I took the Ravens.
Absolutely. It was the Ravens.
And it was against the Saints.
Games.
It was against the Saints.
It's one.
And we're coming up on them, and they have another one. Well, right now we're on the Giants. They're 4.5. But now, see, to me, I always think the first 3 points are a hometown line. All right. So if you're the home team, unless it's a really bad lopsided match, 3 points is a hometown line. So adding 1.5 to that with the Giants, it either doesn't respect their, what are they, 6-2, right?
Yeah, 6-2. Yeah.
It doesn't respect that at all, or it way over respects the Texans, who I don't know what they are right now, but I would say th're probably not any better than 2-5, 2-6, right? Maybe I'd have to go look it up, but they're not a very good football team. The fact that this is only a 4.5 point line is kind of surprising to me. Jesse, we're talking about the Giants and the Texans, being that the Giants are at home as a 4.5-point favorite, and that this is just to me seems to be an odd line. What would Kevin Sheehan call it? The smell test, right? I guess he goes and looks to see who's going to bet first before he
Yeah.
goes
And to be all honest with you, I've been liking
Please
what
do.
I've seen out of the Texans lately.
Yep.
They got a really, really good run game.
What's
Davis-
that? What's the rookie's running back? The rookie running back, dude. He runs as angry as anybody
Yeah.
I've ever seen. That
He's
dude
huge,
runs like
too.
somebody just took his wallet.
And,
He's not very big. He just goes through their elbows and knees. Man. I love it.
He's like a bowling ball. Like he's
He
small, but he's like built like a fucking brick house.
Damian something.
Yeah.
Pierce? Is it
Damian Pierce?
Yeah,
That's right.
Damian Pierce. And Davis
What an
Mills
NFL show.
hasn't necessarily been shit in the bed. So yeah, man, this is I think this is going to be a closer game than people might imagine.
When you don't want to shit the bed, delicious Davis Mills in the morning.
And matter of fact, I will take the Texans plus the points.
I was thinking about doing the same doggone thing. Take the Texans plus the 4.5 points. Because fuck the Giants. What did I tell you guys last week? Like 3 of their games have come down to the final closing seconds. A miracle stop at the Schminch line, and then a couple of dives over the top from Saquon Barkley after a miracle play to get him down there. You can't survive that way for very long. So I think that the Giants are starting to see that. And yeah, I'll take the Texans and that 4.5. The Giants may win, but I don't think it's going to be by that.
So I'm going to take the Giants, which I don't particularly want to take the Giants, but I think they'll just squeak this out. It is probably going to be close. It's going to be within. I think it might be a field goal. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Get out of here. Yeah, dead on. But I will take the Giants for this. But I want to stay away from this game. It's just a trap game completely.
Yeah, I'm not putting any money on this one
No.
at all. I'm just going to root like hell for the Texans and good old-fashioned, delicious dry roast Davis Mills. So I guess Jesse kicked his daughter out of the truck, and
Yeah, no,
Looks like
we
he's
just-
back home.
Made it a pit stop over here at my parents. So
I'll
I
tell
can,
you what.
I can jump on the podcast because I was not hearing y'all very well.
look, I'm going to give you my impression of Jesse doing the podcast, no matter where he is, what he's doing. There's always something in fucking front of you. Jesus Christ. All right, so I'm having a good time. I hope everybody else is too. So, all right, Jesse and I are on the Texans. And Scott, are you putting any money on the Giants?
Not at all. No, it's a trap game completely. It could go either way, but I just think the Giants squeak this out for some reason.
Don't be such a pansy. All right, so okay, we're going to Pittsburgh. I know we don't want to, but we're going to Pittsburgh, where tiny-handed Kenny Pickett is going to play against the New Orleans Saints, who I think this is the third week in a row that the Saints have had a 1-point spread. They're a 1-point
underdog
home, they're a 1-point road favorite against the Steelers. When was the last time the Steelers were a home dog?
I think last week.
Was it last week? Okay, well
Yeah.
then let's rewind to last week. When was the last time that the Steelers were a home dog? As of last week. It's probably been a long goddamn time.
I would have said so, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So the Saints -1 going into Pittsburgh to me, I think is an easy one. I'm thinking the Saints on this one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
200.
200, right? So New Orleans.
Yeah, I
200.
absolutely zero, even though I think I read TJ Watt was coming back.
I
Yeah,
think
TJ Watt's
was
back.
questionable.
Or was it the other Watt that was coming back? It was one of the Watts.
JJ Watt.
JJ Watt played last week.
Yeah, he's been
Okay,
playing.
and then it must have been TJ Watt coming back, but that's not going to make a difference. William Jackson III got put
He's
on IR.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I think I tweeted this out. Really
Tragic.
good new traction, but the Steelers thought that they said, "I thought you were playing man corner," and yeah, they put this motherfucker on IR.
And funny is you should say that the IR is known as a zone, so he's not having a very good time over there either. But I can't go with the Steelers on this game. They're having a young quarterback, and that's the thing about the Steelers, where everybody's going to give it. I've seen, we always say about how are Washington fans so bad? We're so toxic on Twitter, dude. It's no different anywhere else. These people want Mike Tomlin fired. They want him thrown out the building.
Which is absolutely crazy. I mean, this will be his first ever, and I've said this on the few shows, this is going to be his first ever below 500 season.
Probably.
And that's okay.
Well,
he doesn't have a quarterback because if you don't have a quarterback, you're not going to be any good. And
well, he's got a quarterback. It's just he's got a very young quarterback. Well, I mean, that remains to be seen. He is. He's a rookie, right? He's a rookie.
That doesn't mean he's going to be a quarterback.
Well, no, that's why I said it remains to be seen. But he's got a rookie, and the thing about it is this: if you have a rookie quarterback, which look, if you're going to do it, we all know that's the ticket. You got to get that rookie, and you got to make him your man, and you got to get him through, and you got to make him play. And how hard it is to do that. But is there a better guy that you can think of to maybe try to develop one than Mike Tomlin? Maybe not as a quarterback guru. I mean, you're talking Sean Payton.
I just
Sean
don't
Payton.
think.
But
Tomlin has never developed a quarterback before.
I don't think he has.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But he's smart enough to be able to have kept Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, it's easy to. It sounds like I'm going to say he just rode Ben Roethlisberger's tails or anything like that, but he didn't. All right, Roethlisberger was a good quarterback. He was I think number 7 overall pick,
and he was still young when Tomlin got to him. But
right, so he's got the experience. All right, he's got the experience. And something that I think is always extremely important when we talk about developing quarterbacks, it is continuity of schemes, continuity of plan, continuity of what you're going to do. That's why Andy Reid has always been successful when he brings along quarterbacks because, and same with, I want to say, Belichick, but his is for other positions because he knows what he's going to be doing in 3-4 years because he's there. He's going to be there, right? They have continuity of these schemes. So he knows that when this guy develops in 2 years, this is what he's going to be really good at. This is the guy we're going to plug in there because this is what's going to happen because they know what they're going to be doing. And they're not going to have that turnover at coach unless Reid retires. You follow where I'm going with this. So I think that that's very important to developing a young quarterback. And I think that the Steelers, it still remains to be seen with Pickett. It's just not going to happen this year. But these boneheads that want him fired, good grief, man. You don't know what you have. You're spoiled. Spoiled Steeler fans. Jesus Christ. What the hell is that?
I just had to mute myself for a second there. Child walked in, so sorry about that.
Okay.
But yeah, weirdly enough, I'm going to go out on an island here, and I have no idea why. Gut pick or head pick. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh for a win here. I just don't like New Orleans for some reason.
Every time I don't like New Orleans, they just turn around and beat the shit out of the team I'm betting against. So I'm not doing it again.
Well, I'm going to pick Pittsburgh, but I'm not putting any money on this at all.
I'm going to take the Saints, and I am going to go ahead and put $100 down on that with getting the 1 point. And I was, given the 1 point. Last week, they were a 2.5 point underdog. So I was wrong to the Ravens. But see, I think because the week before that, we were all, how are the Raiders going to lose to this team? And they did.
Yeah.
So
they
I think
didn't just lose. They
got their ass whipped. They got just shut out, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, all right. So I think that when it comes to the betting line on the Saints, I think that's just a slap in the face. It's one thing to say, okay, we're going to shut out the Raiders, even though we were an underdog, to going ahead and saying, okay, you are 2.5 points as good as the Ravens when they're not. They're not even close, right? So I think that, but they are better than 1 point better than the freaking Steelers. I hope I'm making sense. These beers are delicious. All right, so who do we have up next?
We have Detroit against Chicago, and Detroit are a 2.5 point underdog going into Chicago.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bears on this one, and I'm putting $200 down on this one. The Bears are this close to breaking out for a big game, and the Lions stink. I know they won last week, but let me just be clear: the Packers fucking stink, and stink worse than the Lions.
What's the line?
2.5. The Bears by 2.5. The Bears are going to break out, and this is the game they're going to do it. Justin Fields is going to get off 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, no, I'm going the opposite. I think no, the Bears are going to win. Never mind.
Okay, so we'll put you down for Chicago, Jesse.
Is it Bears Lions, right? Bears Lions, right?
It's in Chicago.
In Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me hold on. Wait, before I say
is DeAndre. What's the injury report for the
So DeAndre Swift's playing. He is fit, as is Aiden Hutchinson, fully practiced, fully fit. And whatever the wide receiver's called, he picked up in the offseason, Chark. I think he's fit
DJ
too.
Chark. Okay,
he's
so
fit
they're
too.
fully healthy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't think it's going
I'm
to matter.
I'm still going to go with the Chicago Bears. Yeah, they've been playing. They're off. They've started to get their offense together. And Justin
Right.
Field is starting to come into his own. So,
right. I mean, they
Yeah.
played well last week. They got beat pretty bad by the Cowboys, but at the same time, you can see it with Fields. They've started to figure out that they can run their offense by running him. They can run that Robert Griffin III style offense and run him a lot. They can run that Lamar Jackson stuff. And I think they're going to roll over the fucking Lions.
So I'm out on that island again, and this time I've built myself a hammock and I've got a bit of protection. And I'm picking the Detroit Lions.
Oh,
again.
I'm tempted to pick the Lions. I am, but
that line's just too close for me, and I think the Lions coming off a win.
Chicago
on a good side.
The
Neither
Lions
of the Detroit
actually
Lions
have some offense, especially when
Mhm.
they have their playmakers on the field. That's the one thing that's starting to get me a little bit kind of leaning the other way, because Swift is one of the best running backs in the game, and
I think Hutchinson has a really big day.
he does it. Hutch has been out for how many games?
He's been struggling with that hamstring pretty much since we played them, and I think he's missed 2 games. He was played last week, and he had a couple of sacks last week, so he's hitting form when you'd expect him to hit form.
Yeah, well, I'm still going to stay. I'm going to stick with the Bears. I ain't
Okay.
going to put no money on this thing, but
you're going to see a lot of Hutchinson
Mm-hmm.
on Sunday. And the reason you're going to know it's him is because you're going to be able to read his jersey, because he's going to be chasing Justin Fields all over the motherfucking place. Because Justin Fields, I'll tell you this, he's this close. He's this close to having that Michael Vick game where everybody goes, wow. And I think it's this week, kind of like the Lions.
Okay.
Bears are home. So that's the way I see it. And don't forget, it's going to be cold. There's a polar vortex coming down that's going to wipe out the entire central part of the United States. I mean, if you're watching college football today, Michigan is snowing like crazy. The Ohio State game had snow all day. So the temperature's dropping big time. I think that's going to be it's an outdoor game. The Lions, maybe back in the day, but you know what? I think that indoor stuff matters. This is going to be their first big outdoor cold game. You know, give me the Bears.
So what's the difference in temperature between Detroit and Chicago? I mean, I know Chicago's got the wind. I get that, but
not much. It's about the same, but Detroit plays indoors.
Yeah, they do play in a dome,
outdoors. And this time it's going to be fucking cold tomorrow. Up there, it's going to be cold. That whole thing's dipping all the way down into the south part of the United States. So it'll be very interesting watching some football tomorrow. All right, so who do we have next up here? We got the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins have been my darlings lately. Dolphins are favored by 3.5 at home against the Cleveland Browns. Give me those Dolphins, and I am putting a big fat 300 on it.
Ooh,
give me the Dolphins.
What?
Nothing? What?
Wow.
Nothing? Fuck the Brown.
Fuck the Brown.
I'm staying away.
Staying
away. That's bold. 300. That's bold. I'm staying way away from this game. I will lean Dolphins, but that's about it.
Tell you what, you can lean on the Dolphins all you want, but if you really want to have some fun, put your cash down on them, because they are going to walk away with this game. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't know about that.
And
Because
John
the Cleveland Browns have been playing very well, even with the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
So have the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have a backup quarterback, but they have got loaded up weapons. They are fast, and they are playing at a peak right now.
Tyreek Hill.
The guys that they just traded
last week. Who did they play last week? They struggled last week and had.
They didn't really struggle. I think they played Chicago.
It was a close game.
Yeah,
it was a close.
That's
game.
why. But see, I believe more in Chicago over that than I disbelieve in Miami, because I've seen what else Miami can do during the course of the season, and they're going to walk away with this game. Cleveland.
Yeah,
Browns,
I don't know, man. I don't know about walking away with it. I think the Cleveland Browns is going to make this a close game. They may win, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm staying away from this one.
So, John, if you want to put your $300 down and you put that cash on, where would you go to do that?
I would go to do that at BetUS.com. It's a good thing you asked me there, Scotty. Let me tell you something. Listen up, sports bettors. Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. And since it's been about 6 months since we got this reading that I'm supposed to read, they're back for their 28 and a half year of NFL action, with the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%.
200%?
200%.
Wow.
Up to 200%. BetUS off. Now, you did sign up, and you did get 200%.
I did indeed, yeah.
So that's not a bunch of bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. BetUS offers their members opportunities to cash in on all of their favorite sports, including NFL, UFC, NBA, NHL, Major League Soccer, probably boxing, and every other sport that you could possibly imagine. Lacrosse, I am sure, is up there as well. If you're looking for live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds, boosters, props, and parlays, we got them. How about the first fast payouts and exceptional one-to-one customer service? Jesse, have you ever experienced exceptional one-to-one customer service?
No, I have not.
Never? Not even down at the Hairy Armadillo or whatever that bar was?
No, they're shiesty down there.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, BetUS.com has exceptional one-to-one customer service. They've got that. Log into BetUS.com or call 1-800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BetUS, BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Have y'all talked about the Bills and Vikings game yet?
No, we have not.
Oh, okay. All right. I just didn't know what y'all talked about when I was.
No, we were waiting to see if Josh Allen would get the word if he was any better.
We just got the word. We just got the word. He is
really
starting for the Bills. Yep.
He is starting. Wow. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I brought it up. I just didn't know if y'all talked about it or not.
No, it's actually next on the list.
It is. I'm taking Miami for the win here, but I agree with Jesse. I think this is going to be close. Cleveland's running game started to come back into play. Two-headed monster that they've got is very, very good.
Dude, it's not like Miami's got a shitty one.
I'm not saying it doesn't, but
they haven't.
But I think Cleveland's one of the top rushing teams in the entire league.
Mm-hmm. And Nick Chubb is a guaranteed badass.
Yeah. Kareem Hunt's very good as well.
Too. Hunt's good too, man.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I think this is going to be a close game. That's why I'm just going to stay with it because Cleveland has surprised some folks this year. And although I do like Miami, I do think they're going to wind up winning that division, and they might make some noise in the playoffs. Well, no, they're not. They're not going to win the division, but they're going to be going to the playoffs. It's just not yet. I haven't bought into just going up against a team like the Browns. It's an automatic win for me.
Yeah, that line of 3.5 is too close as well.
That's a hometown line. That's a hometown line right there. You know, I think Vegas, if they played on a neutral field, it might be a push. But that's what I'm saying is the Browns have been playing very well with a backup quarterback all year round.
That's fine, but he hasn't. You know, when you say backup quarterback, he's a backup quarterback, but he's really just a really low end starter. He's been that in the league, so he's not some kind of a schmuck out there.
Would y'all want Brissett on this team?
Not a chance. Not a chance.
I just think that the Browns are a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm watching the Penn State 21-0 lead here, and I lost track of what the hell we were talking about.
So Jacoby Brissett, would you take
Jacoby Brissett? You know, I thought about it. No. And as far as Carson Wentz is going, you know, I don't see the difference.
Yeah, that's hindsight, though. I'm talking about
right. I would have also said I didn't want Geno Smith, but look how wrong I was.
True, too.
That's true too. Well, I think everybody would have said that. So,
hey, Seattle didn't even really want Geno Smith. That's why they went and got Drew Lock, and then they kind of changed their mind, changed their tune during training camp. So,
hey, good for Geno Smith. I got to give him that.
Yeah,
all right, so. Yeah, so okay, so you're going with the Dolphins. See, you guys are talking about that. Okay, there's 3.5. There's going to be a close game. Look, a 4-point game is a close game, right? 5-point game is a pretty close game.
It's going to be close enough where I would not want to put money on it.
Correct. Yeah, that's where I am.
That's all I'm saying. I think the Dolphins are going to win. I just wouldn't put any money on it.
I know what you're doing there, sir.
That's right. There you go, Scotty. Good job. Maybe for Jesse, I should do. How would you do that? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
All right, fucking fine now. Yeah, whatever. All right. So anyway, we're going to go to the Buffalo Bills and the Minnesota Vikings. This is being played in Buffalo, which really, when you realize that it's November in Buffalo and you realize that they can have the damn Tagovailoa just got lit up. Damn, he got popped. All right.
Was Penn State playing Maryland?
Playing Maryland, yeah.
Maryland.
Damn, he got lucky. He didn't get they didn't get a flag thrown for that. Anyway, so it's November in Buffalo, which means that lake effect snows could happen at any minute, and they will drop 7 feet of snow in a half an hour.
Sure. Now the line has moved. It was, I think, like 3.
3, I think it was when I saw it. Yeah.
Now it is back up to 6.5.
Oh,
whoa!
Yeah,
that is a massive.
Yeah, because when they set those lines. They did not expect Josh Allen to play.
Yeah, I read it.
Now that Josh Allen is playing, the line has moved 3 points.
I read it earlier, and Jesse, and they were saying that he could be hour to hour. I still think that is an issue. The elbow, the ligament within the elbow is causing him a problem.
On a throwing arm.
Listen, have no idea how that's going to affect him.
Let me tell you something. When you said that, and I'm sitting here on betus.com right now, and when you said that, I refreshed it, and that game's not even on here.
They're probably fixing the line right now. Is what's happening.
Let me refresh it again. They wouldn't let you touch it for a minute. Wait, what's that red? Okay.
Yeah.
That's still not.
Yeah. Somebody put a question. It was a verified check, like a real check mark. Put a question on Twitter. Would you take the Vikings over the Buffalo Bills this weekend? And I wrote, look, the Vikings were a Taylor Heineke interception away from losing against the Commanders.
On a bad day.
Yeah. So
on an overall bad day, yeah.
So I don't care if Case Keenum's playing. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills to win this game. And now that Josh Allen is playing, I'm laying the points, and I'll put $300 on this game.
I'll tell you what, $300 is a lot to put on this game, especially when you got a quarterback with a sprained elbow, because that's really.
But they got top 5 DVOA offense and defense.
I get you.
That's where I'm coming from with this one. You were confident in the
Miami
Bills. That's how confident I am in the Vikings not being as good as their record is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And we saw that last week.
Totally agree with that. They're the most overrated 7-1 team that we've seen. No, they are. Their record is seriously padded. I've talked about it. Well, last week they only just beat us from a Taylor Heineke interception and a questionable call from a run back from Benjamin St. Juice. And then you think they've had a double doink win against the Saints in London. That's two games
any one
straight
of those
away.
two things did not happen. Either the flag on St. Juice or the Heineke interception, they would be 6-2 right now.
Correct.
6-2 is still not too shabby. And the fact of the matter is they are talented.
They should be 5-3.
5-3 is not too bad either. And frankly, they're not too shabby. All right. They have the talent that's capable of really having a big day against practically anybody. The Bills, they're the best team in the NFL with Josh Allen. And the thing about this is it's his throwing elbow, and it is a sprain. And those things, man, I tell you what, I'd be half inclined to let him sit and say, let's go see if Case Keenum can win this game.
Yeah.
They've got a comfortable lead,
I give it a quarter.
The thing is that they're battling for position. Within the playoffs right now, they want to put their best players on the field. They
beat the Chiefs head to head though, so that's got to be.
They do, but they still need to keep up with them and have at least a tie record with them going into the playoffs. So I think this call, even I understand where you're coming from, and I get that's probably a conversation that they've been having all week long, but. They don't want to chance it. They don't want to chance it. And
boys, this is why the NFL is the absolute fucking bet.
Yes.
All right. This is the best team in the NFL. They got one little problem with the quarterback's elbow. We're looking at it like, okay, they're in week 10. They're jockeying for position. This could be a critical game, and it is. The Vikings, like we know they have the talent, but I'm taking the Bills, but I'm not betting on this. I'll take the Bills to win. If it's 6.5. Then no, I'm not laying that. If it was the 3, I'd lay that. Even if it was with let me see if it's been put back on Bet US.
So I'm taking the Bills, and it's going to be just a squeaker. That 6.5 line is too high. 3 points.
I think last week when they lost last
week,
he's
healthy,
I think it kind of pissed them off. That was a fluke loss for them. I think they're going to come back and ready to run the ball down the Vikings.
Davis is a good running back as well.
Is this Diggs' first game back against the Vikings?
Probably not. Diggs has been there for quite a while. I think
it's just like his 3rd year, right?
Where they're playing in Buffalo, right?
Buffalo, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, lake effect
game of the week for me. This is a great game. I'll be watching this game.
when you look at the weather pattern and how this big vortex is going to come down, man, that I'm dead serious. The lines run right across Lake Erie. And if you've never, Scott, if you never knew what lake effect snow was that they have in Buffalo, go on YouTube and type in lake effect snow. All right. There was one that happened about 5 years ago. I want to say 5 or 6 years ago, in which one side of the street got literally 8 feet of snow. It's up over the fucking doorway. The other side of the street, absolutely nothing, right? Wow. Because this thing would it's the way that the air's mixed together and the way it comes across. And you can see they have this video from the top of one of these skyscrapers in Buffalo, and you see this. It's like a knife edge of snow that just comes right into the city. And
I've seen it before. It looks like foam almost, doesn't it? It's weird.
It's insane, yeah. So I just can't wait. We saw one in the game against the Colts a couple of years ago. The Bills had. I just love that kind of shit. And today was snowing through a couple of these games in the Midwest. So let's hope we get some good snow in Buffalo. See what the Vikings can do outside. See, now I'll go old guy here. You guys are young, but when the Vikings used to play outside, dude, that's why they always went to the Super Bowl. They lost, but they went to the Super Bowl because teams like the Rams would have to come play them in Bloomington. And they kept one side of the stadium open so that the wind would come through. And my God, everybody just froze. All right. So we're all on the Bills.
Yep.
All right. We got the Tennessee Titans at home against the Denver Broncos. The Titans are favored by 2.5. Scotty, what do you think about that game?
I think this is a Tennessee win for me. Denver have just not been playing well at all in any way, shape, or form. I don't know if it's question marks on Russell Wilson around how he's playing. Even their defense doesn't look as good as we thought it was going to be. They apparently had a top 5 defense, and Derrick Henry's running everywhere at the moment. He had a really, really big game last week. Malik Willis starter, very questionable. He's just got to hand the ball off and let Derrick Henry run. And that's what I think we'll have. We'll have a massive, heavy dose of Derrick Henry. It's at Tennessee. Tennessee win for me, but I'm not putting anything on it at all.
All right. What about you, Jessy?
Yeah, no, you go ahead and talk about it. It's just, why don't you give us your analysis, John, real quick? I'm in the middle of something. Sorry.
Professional podcast. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jesse. We're turning right now to look at the Denver Broncos.
All right. So the Broncos suck. Let's just put it out there. The Broncos fucking suck. All right. They've made it. I think they've made a huge mistake in paying Russell Wilson that humongous contract
and those picks.
Yeah, and those picks. I think this is going to set this team back. Look, the Titans. What's the spread?
2.5.
2.5. That seems a little weird for me. I think it should be a little bit more. I think they're giving a little bit too much credit in what Denver won last week in London, didn't they?
Yeah, but they beat those weird Saints.
It wasn't,
and that was a close game.
It wasn't a great game. It wasn't a good game.
Terrible. Shout out to Ali who missed all of the first half because he couldn't get his ticket.
I think.
Way to go, Alan.
Yeah, they're going. Derrick Henry was just going to run the ball down their throats the entire game.
All right, so I am going to be the outlier here. I am taking the Denver Broncos. I think they did play a pretty good game last week. Jerry Jeudy had a pretty good game last week, and they just traded for, I know, what's his name? The running back from the Dolphins that fell out of favor down there, whose name escapes me just at the top of my head right here. But they work well with a two-headed monster, all right? Whatever his name is. God damn it. I stupid names. The Broncos running, but one of them's on the Javonte Williams. He's on IR. So it's been Melvin Gordon, and they've kind of fallen off a little bit. And even though Russell Wilson hasn't been playing really great, he played well last week. Jerry Jeudy finally picked up some stuff last week. So I think that's going to continue this week. I am taking the Broncos, and I'll take those 2.5 points. Is that what it is? Yeah, I'll take those 2.5 points.
Put your money where your mouth is then.
Fair enough. I'm going to go ahead and put $1.95. No, give me $50 on this one. I'll go ahead. I will put my money on the Broncos on this one. They've got to be better than they've been, and I think that they will. Ryan Tannehill has not been ruled out yet, so you got to consider that as well.
Malik Willis has started the last 2 games, though, hasn't he?
He has, but on the defensive side of the ball, they are really injured. The Titans, Jeffrey Simmons is out. He is a fantastic DN. Armani Hooker is out. and Bud Dupree's out. So
Chase Edmonds is the running back they got from the Dolphins, and he can be effective. Yeah, he can be effective. And if they spell him with Melvin Gordon and get him a few carries, I think that'll do Gordon some good too. So yeah, I'm taking the Broncos in this game.
Yeah, I just don't have any faith in the Broncos right now.
I know
until they show me something different. So,
well, I'll tell you what, the Lord from above come down upon me, and he smote me upon the head, and he said, "Lo, John, believe in those Broncos." So I do.
Next game.
All right, the next game. Okay. What's up, Declassified Podcast right there? Hey, see? Watch a Declassified Podcast. He understands. He gets it. Yeah, they are.
I don't know about that, man.
Whether turning around would mean beating somebody worthwhile. And I just don't think the Titans are worthwhile. I really don't. So there you go.
Hey, they're in top 10 power rank. So I don't know. They're what, 5-3, 5-4, or 5? Yeah, 5-3.
Power rank is decided by people like us.
6-3.
The hell do I care about that? I don't think so. I think that the Broncos, while they might not be a sleeping giant, they're at least a sleeping mosquito, and those little bastards can bother you for a while. All right, so we're going to move on. We're going to go to the Arizona Cardinals against the Los Angeles Rams. Talk about a sleeping mosquito.
What's going on, LE, from the Declassified Podcast? Just jump in our chat. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, brother?
Raiders, Colts.
Raiders Colts. I must have skipped over that one. I don't know how I must have missed such a freaking colossal game like this.
Jeff Saturday taking over.
Yeah, Jeff Saturday. Wow,
dude, this is a clown show, man. This is a
Jeff Saturday. I swear. The best. Did you see the press conference that Jim Irsay had? Did you watch that? My favorite line that Jim Irsay had through the whole thing is when he said, "You know, I'd say it's fucking damn things. Get my hot pocket, you know." That was my favorite part of the whole damn thing.
I tell you what, it's just that is a crazy, crazy appointment. But looking at the injury report here on Vegas side, Renfro and Waller both went to IR.
Oh, they had a bunch to go on IR.
And Jonathan Taylor.
They cut Abram, right? They had a guy retire on him the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Raiders
Jonathan
are in free
Taylor's
fall.
back. He's had three. Jonathan Taylor's had 3 games out with an ankle injury. Mm-hmm. So he's back for the Colts as well. So
I just don't.
I forgot I got my North Turner face on here. Sorry about that, fellas. I was the coach of the Raiders at one time, and let me tell you something. We was a damn sight better than this. These boys suck.
Thanks, North. Can you take your son?
I'm staying far away. This is a gross game. I don't even want to pick a winner. They'll probably wind up tying like 3-3. This is so bad.
Who knows? They've already got a tie in Indianapolis, so maybe we get another one.
They do. That's too funny, man. You know what would Jim Irsay would say about that? Well, you know, I'll tell you, fucking G, what I tell you, got a fucking double pane window.
Irsay will probably fire Saturday by Sunday.
Let me tell you something. I always never did like Saturday's okay, but I like Thursday the best.
Yeah, this game's just gross. This is a gross game.
Who are you taking, Jesse?
I mean, I guess I'm gonna take the Raiders.
It's a 4-point. They're a 4-point favorite.
I don't feel very good about it. I don't
4.5
feel very good about any of these teams.
You got an extra half point there? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna take it because I'm taking the Colts and I'm taking those 4.5 points, and they're gonna go in and they're gonna beat the Raiders. Colts. Sam Ehlinger is gonna throw a wrench into Jimmy Irsay's tanking plans. The thing about Irsay, dude, I don't know if you realize this, but when you're tanking, like you have done in the past, tanking for Andrew Luck is one thing. Tanking for Peyton Manning is one thing entirely. Tanking for
CJ
Stroud,
maybe
I don't know.
From what I understand, and
there is no Peyton Manning.
Noise. There's some noise coming out about. There's a lot of talk about this draft class. There are a lot of quarterbacks in this draft class. Yes, there is. But
there always is.
I'm hearing the next draft class is supposed to be even better.
Imagine that.
But I bet next year we're going to say the next draft class is going to be even better.
That's right.
Who the fuck?
Amazing draft class.
There you go. Dude, you know me. I hate the fucking draft prognosticators, especially when it comes to quarterbacks.
They're never fucking right.
They do this every fucking year. every year. Dude, did you see Marcus Mariota trying to throw a pass from his back the other day?
Oh God,
He was
that was
number 2
terrible.
pick in the draft. Shut up, you idiots.
We almost had he was almost on our team too.
Yeah.
I know. I kind of like him. He's got moxie. I mean, we like Taylor Heineke for that, but if he'd have completed that pass, that would have been amazing, wouldn't it?
That's a total Taylor Heineke type pass right there.
All right, so I'm taking the Colts. I'm taking those 4.5 points, and I'm going to go ahead and put $50 on that to round out my number there that I put down on the Broncos. So yeah, I'm taking the Colts because I do think Sam Ehlinger is better than what they think he is. Stewart is not Stewart. The running back coming back is going to really help out quite a bit, and I think that fuck the Raiders. I think they're in free fall.
Damn, it's already over an hour. So all right, yeah. Cardinals, Rams. Rams are going to turn it around. This, I feel just like Ellie said, the Broncos were going to turn around. I feel like the Rams are going to turn it around. They have to. There's too much talent on that team not to.
You would think so, and I'm going to go ahead and say this week they're going to go ahead and cover that 3 points. I'm taking the Rams, and I don't care if we're over an hour. We don't pay by the fucking minute. Fuck them.
So I'm actually taking Arizona on this, and the reason behind it is Stafford is concussed and is very, very questionable, if not down as doubtful. And they've said it could be hour to hour before he plays, before the decision is made.
I must say I did not realize that, so I will change my bet, and I will take the Cardinals. I'm not putting any money on it.
Yeah,
but I'll take the Cardinals.
Kyler Murray's questionable too with the hamstring.
Okay. Kyler Murray to me is questionable anyway, no matter what. And I don't mean I don't mean it health wise. I mean, which Kyler Murray is going to show up? Is it the one that's the genius that does amazing things, or is it the one that just runs around and makes a mess? I don't know. It seems to be in the middle somewhere.
What are you doing, John? Are you taking Arizona now?
Yeah, I'm taking Arizona. If Stafford is concussed,
yeah, me too. I'm flipping a pick too.
Nothing on it, but I'll take Arizona in those 3 points.
All right, Cowboys and the Packers.
The Cowboys are going to kick their ass.
Yeah, what's the point spread?
4 points is what I say.
4?
Yeah.
That's it? Okay. I'm taking
the
Cowboys. Lay the points. Put me a hundy on there.
Once again, though, it's going to be effing cold. All right, there might be snow because this vortex is coming right down. They're Green Bay, right?
Shove that
coming in, and it's early.
Mike McCarthy's rump.
The best thing about Mike McCarthy is he can keep one eye on the game and one eye on the vortex at the same goddamn time.
One eye's at the shop, the other one's getting the change, John.
That's right. Dude's like, hey, I saw sides on that dude over there.
You keep saying vortex is turning into a wide catch radius type thing. Just keeps talking about it.
I always like when they talk to McCarthy after like at the halftime or something like that, and he'll say something like that. I think we played pretty good. Dak's doing all right, especially considering the vortex that's come across the field at the middle of the first, second quarter. He's such a meathead sounding dude, man. I love it.
Are you taking the Cowboys, John?
Absolutely. And I'm going to go ahead and lay those 4 points, and Aaron Rodgers is going to get his ass kicked tomorrow. He is going to get his ass kicked. What have they lost? 5 in a row now, the Packers?
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah. Rodgers might retire after this game.
Well, Jesse said last week he thought he was walking off to the sunset, and I kind of agree with him. I know I did my roving report a bit that we have on the other show.
There is lines of, there's bets you can make on where Rodgers will land next year. Either he's going to retire, but I think the odds for him to be a Washington Commander is very, very favorable. I think they're the second to the Colts. Yeah, wow. I think it's like 5-1.
No thanks.
Would you give a first round pick for
him? No. I'm not giving anything for him because right now, granted, he's hurt. All right, but their problems
first
are
ballot Hall of Famer, and I'm not giving a pick for him.
No, I'm not because he's not Tom Brady. Right? He's not Tom Brady. There's a time that it comes to be it's the end. All right, he's not like Tom Brady where Brady just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. All right, Rodgers, you can see. I mean, he's had a hurt hand, but he's just not sharp. And I'm not.
It's hard to say because one, he doesn't have a goddamn offensive line, and two, he does not have any receivers to throw to. I think it's a mix of the two right there.
I don't know why they got injured. Do you think that maybe Green Bay's trying to run him out? He has been bitching about things ever since they drafted Jordan Love.
Yep.
I don't know. All right, Chargers in the 49ers. And I'm going to go against the grain here, and I'm going to pick the LA Chargers to win this game. Well, not to win this game.
Report,
yeah,
Jesse,
no Dustin Hopkins, so never mind.
We've got Keenan Allen's out with a hamstring, and Mike Williams is out with an ankle.
They've been out for weeks now.
You're taking a 7.5 points? You putting anything on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the I'm gonna take the points. I'm gonna take Chargers plus the points, and I'll put 50 on it.
All right, that's a pansy ass bet. I'll take the 49ers, and I will lay that 7.5 points, and I ain't putting nothing on it.
Way.
I don't believe. I mean, I do. The 49ers are a team that keeps ending up deep in the playoffs, but it's hard to believe in Jimmy Garoppolo. It really is. I don't know why. It's just hard to believe in it. Did you see that thing that was on Twitter this week with all of those all the NFL quarterbacks with their genders switched?
Oh yeah, I did. Wow. What I'm saying? Wow. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Two things. That's right. Two things. You people that are doing that, stop it. And number two, Jimmy Garoppolo. Jesus Christ, buddy, what are you doing next week? When are you on a bye?
Jill Burrow was pretty. It got it for me. Yeah. Did you see the Aaron Rodgers one?
I was a little afraid.
No.
It would look like the crazy bitch that won't leave you alone. Right?
Josina Allen. Josina Allen was pretty righteous too.
Someone put a picture on of Ben Roethlisberger gender swapped.
I did see that one. Yes, I did. Hey,
wow.
Pittsburgh, she's a 10, buddy. Let me tell you something. Yeah. I did see the one of Taylor Heineke. Whew, that wasn't pretty. And I saw the one of Lamar Jackson, and my God.
Did you see the one of Kyler Murray? He did him like this.
I didn't want to look at the one of Kyler Murray because I don't want to get in trouble with the FBI. You know, he's a little young. At least he looks like
they took half his face out. They
just half a head. It was funny.
Yeah, you've seen those pictures that they put on social media where they make the big head, right? Some guy does it. The one of Kyler Murray throwing the football. I don't know who makes those things, but that's just
amazing,
freaking beautiful. I love it. I can do that kind of stuff all day long, but when somebody does one, I'm not doing another. Nope, that's the best one. I'm going to go with that.
So San Francisco for me on this game, and it's just going to be I think Christian McCaffrey has a big day again. So yeah, San Francisco for me, and we're on to our final game, I believe, Josh.
Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night.
Down. Last time we played the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday night, I don't think it was very pretty.
No, it was terrible. It was awful. It was horrible. Last time we played anybody on Monday night, you could say, oh, God, it was horrible and it was awful, and you'd be right.
We won the last Monday night game.
But over the last 20 years, we probably can be able to say that, 4 times?
Yeah.
So it's not been kind to us.
But I think since Ron Rivera has taken over this team, we have not been bad on night games.
No.
So
the Steelers, when we beat them at 11-0 a night.
Yeah, take that for what it's worth. Listen,
nothing.
The Eagles are 11-point favorite, as they should be. It's not cut. It's pretty cut and dry. Mm-hmm. CBS has us the power rank us at 18. We cracked the top 20. That's odd.
18 is how much we score every week. How the hell we come
17. 17. So look, Cole Holcomb is out. J.D. McKissick is out. David Mayo is out. Tyler Larson is questionable.
He's had a really bad back for the last few days and didn't practice earlier in the week at all. I think he had 2 days out of not practicing.
Yeah, but he did practice today, from what I understand. And Jahan Dotson is now a go, going to give it a go. Chase Young is probably not going to go. That's fine.
They have until 4 o'clock on Monday to decide.
They do. But from everything that we've heard from Rivera and Jack Del Rio, there's some things that they see that he's doing really, really good, and there's things that he's not so comfortable with. So they're going to take their time with it. And
when you say take your time, Jesse, we've got one more week. Is it 2?
Well, they can activate him. They just don't play him.
Right.
If that comes.
That's fair enough. Okay, I was like, you have to activate him, don't you, by next week's game?
Yeah.
Next week you can get a better shot at being able to, slow roasted, mellow, easygoing Davis Mills.
So, look, we don't got a chance. I'm just going to say that right now. There's just no chance.
I'm going to pick the Commanders and take the 11 points, but we're not going to win this game. There's no way. But our defense is pretty good, so I think we can keep it close.
Yeah,
but I don't think meaning we can keep up with them scoring. I think we can keep their scoring down.
I will stay away from betting on this game, but I will lean Commanders plus the points.
Yeah, the 11.
And you never know. Jalen Hurts could step in a hole in the middle of Lincoln Field and twist his ankle. And
a railing could collapse and a bunch of fans could fall on him.
That's true. So you never know.
So
short of that, this shit ain't happening.
Come on, boys. This is a winnable game. Every week. No, it's really not a winnable game. And I am going to take Philadelphia, and I am going to take the points as well.
You're laying the 11?
Laying the 11. It's going to be.
So you think we're getting beat by 2 touchdowns? Okay.
Easy, if not 3.
All right, then. Well, let's hope Scott is dead wrong.
Full.
I hope so. It'll be
a
depressing Tuesday. Depressing Tuesday.
It's
a 1:30 kickoff in the morning for me, so I might just give it till the end of the first quarter and go to bed.
Yeah, that might be all you need to see. I have the Philadelphia Eagles beating the Washington Commanders as my number 14. That's the highest point total this week in my confidence pool. So, and we're tight. And this is big money. My work pool, like lots of money on the line.
So how does that work then? So you've got us losing by 14 points, Jesse.
No, we don't do it against the spread. It's just each game is signed a number 1 to like there's only 14 games this week because of buys.
Yeah,
1 through 14, and whatever you feel is like
the easiest win.
The easiest win. You want the most points, and you get those points. So if the Eagles beat Washington, right, I get 14 points added to my season total. So, that's my number 1 game of the week. That's the game that I'm most confident in. That's going to end up getting me points.
Well, that's an interesting twist. So my most confident game this week is the Cowboys. I would put my 14 on the Cowboys. They're going to wipe the fucking mop. They're going to. I'm telling you, Aaron Rodgers is going to be in front of that microphone on Sunday evening, going,
"Yeah,
I think I might just retire."
It was a pick between the Eagles and the Chiefs game. Chiefs versus
Chiefs
Jaguars.
Is where I would go with my most confident game of the week. Chiefs to beat.
And then my third most confident game is actually the Seahawks versus the Buccaneers.
Jesse's like a vampire. The camera doesn't know whether to see him or not. The camera's like, not sure. Should I show him or should he be blurred? I don't know. Yeah, you look like a couple of guys I saw in some amateur porn.
But if that vortex goes through, you never know.
Well, that's where I sit. The Cowboys are my number 1 pick this week. They're just going to wipe up the fucking Packers, vortex or not. So, all right then, gentlemen. This was always fun. I have a good time doing this on Saturday afternoons. Like I tell my wife, I can either sit on Twitter and type about football, or I can sit around and talk about it, with you guys and whoever the people are that are watching us right now. I hope you had a good time. If you go ahead and go out to betus.com and bet using our advice, you're fucking stupid. You shouldn't do that. Use your brains. Especially don't listen to me. I stink at this. Listen to Scott. He knows more about the idea for sure. Even though he's got it down by percentages, you won't understand it. No. All right. Until next time, we'll see you on Monday.
Later.
Take care.